out to center field. And this one's driven into right center. It's going to catch that breeze, and goodbye. Riley Nelson with his 6th home run of the year.
You better watch who you're talking about, running your mouth like you know me. You gon' fuck around and chill while the show me get called and show me. Why one-on-one you can't hold me if your last name was Hayne. Only way you wear me out is stitch my name on your pants. No resident of France, but you swear I'm from Paris. 106 carats, total no, that's per wrist. Trying to get purpose, my chain to your chain. Like Sprinter, Motorola, no service out of your range. You're out of your brain, thinking I'ma shout out your name. You gotta come up with better ways and actions to get your aim. All that pressure you applying, it's time to ease off. Before I hit you from the blind side, taking your sleeves off. As much as we's lost, still hard to please boss. Don't be lying, crying, suck at the best of loss. Cause your acts is whack, your whole label is whack. Matter of fact, hold that. I am number one. No matter if you like it, take it, sit down and write it. I am number one. Now let me ask you, man, what does it take to be number one? 2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers. What does it take to be number one?
That's right, everybody. Number one, because we're going to be doing a visit to the number 1 team in college baseball to talk to one of their elite level players. But before we do, we got to plug the sponsors. First of all, my name is Jim, and this is the In Off the Bench podcast. Daniel Ball, our lead host, is not here. He's out of town. He's at Epic Universe, hoping he's having a magical time down there in Orlando. We'll get him back next week. But this has been an awesome week that we got to finish off. We've had so many studs on getting their story, and why not finish it with our man Riley Nelson from Vandy Baseball. But Chinook Seedery, 8 flavors mild to wild, whether in the boardroom or on the field, they got you covered. Less salt and no sandpaper tongue. Jesus One Apparel, empowering young men and women to live by the message of John 16:33. Jesus is one and he always will. And of course, Old Dominick Distillery in the heart of downtown Memphis. Whiskey, vodka, bourbon, gin, they got it all. Go check them out on olddominickdistillery.com. But we got to get to it. The biggest interview and podcasting this week with our man, Riley Nelson. Riley, how we doing, man?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on. How are you?
Absolutely, man. Look, so it's funny. Going way back, we used to have a rule. Like, we used to not interview teams that we didn't root for. And at the time, that was really like Florida, Vandy, and Alabama. And Drew Beam was like, man, you got to, like, if you're going to truly grow the game, you got to stop, like, hating. He's like, you know, I'm a Tennessee guy, but he's like, you got to have Vandy, you got to have Florida. And so we ended up having Ryan Ginther, and then we had Colby Shelton from Florida. And he was like, Ryan was like, man, you got to have somebody else on. So we had Sawyer and we had you. And then here I am watching you on the SEC tournament. I was like, I don't even remember why I didn't like Vandy. Like, I know why I didn't like Florida, but I was like, I don't even know. So here we are, man. I'm on the Vandy train. I like watching you guys, like rooting for you guys. I think the black pins are one of my favorite uniforms. And then, of course, as a veteran, gotta love the military uniforms we're wearing. So just, I really got no reason. And now I'm going to talk to you, probably become a fan of you, and it's going to be all good. But in order to do all that, I got to get your story, man. Where are you from?
Man, I'm from the Dallas area. Went to high school. If you know where Southlake and Keller and Grapevine, it's a big 6A high school. Went to Byron Nelson, and then
is Southlake where Griffin Herring went?
Yes, yeah, he went there.
Okay,
so I
yeah.
played against him.
Okay, so yeah, if I remember correctly, he said he came from a very baseball talent heavy area. So you came up playing against some good comp.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of biased, but I think that's the best high school baseball competition in America, is that area right there. I mean, so many guys come out.
We have a good area in North Mississippi. It's kind of funny, like outside of our area, it's not very good, but there was a stat that was dropped out. But if you just used our little small area and like the 3 or 4 schools that were pumping them out, we had like 50 guys that were in college baseball. Austin Riley obviously was in pro baseball. So I know what it's like when you get in a region where, man, all the surrounding schools just has the best baseball. But, what's the one thing, if you go to Dallas, I always like asking anybody where they're from. And obviously Dallas has a lot to do. If I was visiting, it was my first time. What would you say is the one thing I must do?
Honestly, I mean, go down to Arlington and go to a Rangers game. Rangers games right there. Six Flags, the Cowboys stadium's right there. I mean, it's all hockey.
I don't want to watch no. You had me with the. I can go watch the Rangers. I even got their hoodie on right now, but
I like that.
I don't want to watch no Cowboys, man. Tell me, are you a Cowboys fan?
I mean, I don't really like the NFL.
Right?
I don't really like the NFL, but if I had to choose, I'd probably be a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, Daniel, my lead host, he's a Cowboys fan, so he would have been excited the fact that you're even from the Dallas area, and even though you're not a Cowboys fan, he would have tried to talk you into being one.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I saw the thing. Were you born in Toronto?
I was, yes. I was
how
born
long did
there.
you live in Canada?
Like a year. I mean, I was just
so
born
not
there.
long
My
enough to
mom
remember anything.
No, but like we'll visit. Like we went a couple summers ago. My whole mom's side lives up there, so still got ties.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I was curious. I didn't know because it didn't say how long, and so I didn't know if you had to deal with that brutal weather. And as a baseball kid, Canada is not obviously an ideal place because you got basically one season to get it in, right?
Yeah, not at all.
All right, so let's talk family. Who all's in the family? You got a big family, small family?
So my brother's he just graduated high school Tuesday. He's a golfer. He's going to a junior college as well for golf. And my sister is going to be a senior in high school, and she plays softball. So a very athletic family. My mom played rugby. That's been going around the ESPN broadcast. They've been liking to talk about that. My dad went to Marshall to run cross country.
So literally every single person in your family is an athlete.
Yes, very athletic family.
So do y'all have y'all are one of those families, man, if anybody wants to have like a competition with families, like y'all are not the ones to mess with.
Yeah, we get after it no matter what we do. I mean, it's very competitive throughout the house. I mean, it was growing up, so it's been a lot of fun.
Nice. So outside your family, growing up, who was, the biggest influence in baseball? It could have been, a coach. It could have been a professional baseball player you modeled your game after. Like, who was that big influence for you coming up in baseball?
Probably my coach I've been with from 12U to 17U. So I was with him for 6 years, 6 years. And his name is David Holst, played for the Rangers for like 6 years, had a career-ending injury. But I was with him from 12U till I graduated high school. So he kind of molded my swing, and we still talk to this day, but he's definitely been a big influence.
It's worked out well. I've seen your swing, and obviously I'm sure you've had some adjustments since then, but he got you started on the right foot, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so in high school, man, you hit 455, 32 RBIs to break the school single season record for both average and RBIs. You eventually commit to Western Texas College. Was that one of those things? Were you a late bloomer? Not as many offers, or you just want to stay close to home? How did you end up at Western Texas College?
Oh, that's a funny story. But so in high school, I performed against like Herring in the best competition there was, and just only had one offer, and that was Western Texas College coming out of high school. That was my one offer. I had to beg my friend who was on my team. I was like, "Hey, I'm not going to play college baseball. Like, can you just ask your coach?" And the coach texted me. He was like, "Yeah, sure, we'll take you." And then went there.
I think that's a first. Hey, we've had a lot of guys that get no offers, maybe, and a lot that only got one offer. I don't think we've ever anybody had to put in the friend help.
Yeah, and then I ended up rooming with him out in West Texas.
Well, he ended up taking care of what's now obviously an awesome career that's continuing to go. So shout out to your boy for getting you on the field while you were there. Batted .335, 3 home runs, 36 RBIs in 43 games. The one thing I like to ask about anybody through their freshman year, college baseball is so much different than high school baseball. What would you feel is like the one thing you learned most?
My freshman year, I learned mental toughness. I was committed to Ohio State that whole year as a freshman in junior college. And that was also my dream school at the time, was Ohio State. So my whole life, I wanted to play for them. And throughout the whole spring, they would call me and just tell me that, I need to find another place. I'm not good enough for their program. Then the last call was like, "Hey, you're not going to practice at our school for our program." And, that really took a toll on me because, my whole life I wanted to play there. My dad's from Ohio. That whole side lives in Ohio. And, that really took a toll. And also my coach at JUCO, at that one JUCO, would bring me over, tell me I'm not deserving of Ohio State. I need to be there for 2 years. I'm not good enough. So having all these things just kind of helped me get mentally tougher. And for that, I'm really grateful. I mean, I know like for that whole spring and summer, like depression really sunk in, but just having those step backs, I mean, it really helped me get mentally tough. Because now I can kind of take any punch that's kind of thrown.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've covered baseball for going on my 6th year now. I'm really confused watching you play now in Ohio State. It's not like Ohio State is Vandy, right? And so that's crazy that they were telling you this, but it's really even crazier to me because they should be trying to uplift you, motivate you in the right direction, not tear you down. Like tough love can come from maybe a coach that you've had for a while or your dad or like anything like that. But I feel like, man, that they went about that whole thing the wrong way, but it ended up working out for you. You obviously don't go to Ohio State. You go to, how do you say it? Is it Yavapai? I don't even know how to
Yep.
say that.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right. And I mean, you dominate there, first team all conference, first team all region. You know, I can go through the stats. They're pretty significant. So ultimately you commit to Vandy. How does Vandy, because I imagine after that year, you went from people saying you're not good enough to, hey, everybody wants you. So how did Vanderbilt be the school that you decided to go to?
So actually, I was committed to UTRGV. I committed in the fall of that sophomore year, and then tore it up in the spring, and then was getting some draft looks and played in the MLB draft league. And there in the draft league, everyone was like, "Why are you committed to RGV?" So I kind of told them the story that kind of led up to that, and I got an advisor, and he was like, "Hey, I have all the big schools waiting. Like, if you just get your release from RGV, it'll be well worth it." And got my release from RGV, and it was a tough conversation because I mean, I love the coaching staff, I love what they had to offer, the atmosphere, and just felt like for me personally, it was just best to go another direction, and got my release, and that's kind of when all the floodgates opened. And once Vanderbilt texted me, I mean, number one on my list immediately. Like if it's Vandy, it was,
Vandy boys holds some weight. It's a blue blood.
oh my gosh, it was unreal. I can still remember being in summer ball, seeing that text message on my phone, like holy, like it's unbelievable. It was crazy. So
yeah, it's funny when I think about your whole, as you explain this whole story, and I was told that you had a wild story. It reminds me of that thing where it says your plan and then it shows God's plan, and it's got the road that's like that because it feels like you've been pulled every which way. But ultimately, it's all for good because you're thriving at this destination. I mean, you wasted no time. Opening weekend, you hit a go-ahead grand slam in the 8th inning over UC Irvine. You singled a run in your first at bat on opening day against Grand Canyon. I mean, complete coming out party. How good did it feel to kind of validate, as someone who has been told that they weren't good enough, you go to this big time school and maybe you even have questions in the back of your head still like, I'm here, but do I belong here? And then you go out and shine an opening weekend.
right. So that, especially the fall, that was like the struggle I had too a little bit was I'm here, but do I belong here? Because you come in and see all these big names like RJ and Johnny, and it's like, wow, I mean, I'm hitting BP with these guys, so it's like it's kind of a pinch me moment too, like playing for Corbs. I mean, just unreal. But no, that first weekend, I mean, it was awesome just to get the first one out of the way. My first at bat where I hit the single, the pitch before I swung at a pitch that hit me. That's how nervous I was. And then the
You're like,
pitch
I'm
right
swinging
after,
at this no matter what it is.
it was, I've never done it in my life. It was, I mean, I don't even know what happened, but then right after I hit the single,
It's the best thing that could have happened. RBI single is way better than an HBP, that's for sure.
oh yeah, it was.
So this is what Corbin said about you. Riley is a wonderful addition to our program. He is a young man who carries a positive light around him. He loves being at the facility and is always working on his game. He reminds me of a Sean Casey type hitter. Very good bat to ball skills with the ability to drive the baseball. His competitiveness at the plate is undeniable. He can play both corner positions in the infield and has a very good acumen for the game. Riley did a great job academically in his first semester here, and he loves the program. So that's the man himself, giving it all about how great you are for the program. But I want to flip it as opposed to what he's saying about you. We don't get enough time. Like I said, you're only our third guest to have from Vandy. Just talk about how awesome Coach Corbin is, because we know he's a Hall of Famer. We know all that, but you get to have him coach you on a day-to-day basis. Just how awesome is he?
I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, I'll still walk around the facility, like even today during practice. I mean, just like have the pinch me moments, like it's Tim Corbin coaching me up. So I mean, it's awesome. But you can definitely tell why he's won so much, because he cares about the little things that other programs might not. He takes account and life skills. That's his main focus. Obviously, we want to win games, but he really wants us to be better humans than we are players. And I think that's why we've always had such a great culture, and why this program has always had a consistent winning basis, because he turns young boys into men. I mean, I know that's a cheesy saying, but I mean, he
No,
really does.
it's the truth, and it's not in the job description, but it is. If you're going to take it on, if you don't understand that that's part of your role, then maybe coaching isn't for you, because yes, you're the lead role model in that locker room. To, like you said, you're leading young guys, and it's funny that you say boys to men, because I tell people all the time, like, they think, especially with NIL out there, they're like, these are grown men. And I'm like, man, no, they're not. Like 18, 19 year olds are kids. I joined the military when I was 19, and just because I joined and was getting a paycheck didn't make me a man. Just because you're getting a paycheck playing baseball, or because you're playing, in the biggest games in the country, it's not what makes you a man. It's the process throughout the time you're there. And in order to do that, you got to have somebody in a great leadership role, and who better than Coach Corbin. I've never heard anybody say anything negative about the guy. So, but this year, man, y'all had kind of a slow start, but your team has absolutely caught fire at the right time. This is when you want to do it. You've obviously been a big part of this. Y'all just won the SEC tourney. Man, just how good does the team feel? I know I saw his post game, and he says, you don't want to get too caught up in the moment of the SEC tournament, because as great as that feels, this is where it matters most. So, is the team still on a high, or is it just, man, completely all business, and it's almost like that didn't even happen?
As soon as we got off the bus, coming back from Hoover, it was over. Put the trophy in the trophy case, and it was on a right state from there. But no, I mean, it was awesome winning that. I mean, dream come true. Dreaming of playing in Hoover and winning that tournament. But throughout the year, we all knew that we would click at some point. Like we were that close all year long.
I mean, very rarely do teams shine from start to finish. If you look, Tennessee last year is about the only team where that was all season. But the LSU team, the Ole Miss team, the Mississippi State team, the 3 years before, all had struggles throughout the season. Took some losses they shouldn't have, and then it all came together at the right time. That's why I like how this has fallen for you guys as you're going into the postseason, getting hot at the exact right time.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, you can tell. Like on the field with us, I mean, the connection that we have within the whole group, I mean, it's unreal. It's just awesome to see. There's a lot of trust and confidence that goes into one another, and I think that and a lot of love that we have for one another is just what's going to keep us moving forward.
Yeah, and so in an interview, you made a statement, and I'm glad I've wanted to bring it up, because I've brought it up on our show numerous times. Not you saying it, but the whole thing. So this year they were really trying to sell LSU and Tennessee as a rivalry, right? And, first of all, in previous years, there was the West and the East, so they weren't even on the same side. Most years they didn't even play each other. And I've always considered it's Tennessee's rivals are Vandy and Florida. And I know from having all the guys we've had over the last 5 years, I mean, I remember having Evan Russell and the boys in 2021 and 22, Gilbert. It was all hate for Vandy. And so you talked about how it's the greatest rivalry, and there's definitely that case. But it was crazy to me that they were trying to make LSU Tennessee's rival, and it's like, why are y'all trying to uproot Vandy? So I'm glad you had brought that up, because and for y'all, by the way, to beat your rivalry like that had to feel really good. I told Tennessee fans that were very upset, I said, this was more a statement about where Vandy's at than where Tennessee's at. I was like, Tennessee played 2 really good games, beat Texas, but I was like, they just caught Vandy on the wrong week.
Yeah, I mean, that rivalry going into the weekend where we played at Tennessee, I didn't know much about it until I set foot in the batter's box, pit the game one. I mean, it was intense. It was awesome. A lot of chirpiness, but we knew that if we just played our game, we'd be just fine. We knew going in. We didn't want to feed into their energy. We just wanted to stay composed and, play our game, and we'd come out the right way at the end.
Yeah, for the most part, for the negative attention that you see a lot of their fan base get, I've been to a lot of games there. There isn't very many bad fans there. Usually most of theirs is actually the social media warriors. It's actually a great place to play, at least when I've been there. And so Hopefully they didn't give you too much. But last question I got for you, then we'll play a game and I'll cut you loose. On the uniforms, because I talked about it. I love Vandy's whole kit. What's your favorite uniform to wear?
I think our uniforms are the best in the country, first off. But man, I love the military greens that we wear on Sundays. I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's
you.
what I want to ask, because you can't go wrong. I think the black pins is easily the most underrated. Like, because I saw a competition where it had the best pinstripe uniforms, and that one wasn't even in there, and I was like, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm. And I think like for the greens that we wear, like those aren't our colors, right? And you see so many programs that just wear, like they'll have some sort of military involvement, but it will still be like their colors in a way.
And it's not like digital camo, right? Like you would expect
right.
somebody to have like a camo uniform, and that's not what you did.
Right. And I think that's why it's cool and it's unique too.
Yeah, I mean, as a veteran, and especially y'all playing going into Memorial Day weekend, being in the championship, it set the right vibe. And then to hear Corbs talk about, what it meant and everything, it was perfect. The whole thing was special. It's funny, as an LSU fan, obviously I want my team to win, but if they're not, I want a good story. I want, exciting things to happen. And I felt like the SEC tournament, it hit, and the right team won and everything. So, but before I cut you loose, man, I want to play a game with you. We've been starting it. It's a new one. You're going to be the first one to play this specific one, but it's blind ranking. I'm going to give you 5 things in a row, which in this case is going to be pitchers that you want to face least likely to most likely. So I'll give you 1 through 5, and you'll rank them in order you'd least likely or most likely want to face them. And they're going to come blindly, so you're not going to know who's coming or who the 5 options are. Do I do this is usually Daniel's spot, so did I do a good enough job of explaining that?
Yeah.
All right. So for instance, I'll bring this up to you first. The first one you're going to get is Vandy alum Jack Leiter. Where would you put him? So 1 is the most you want to face. 5 is the least likely you want to face.
Wow. I'm gonna put him at 2. I think facing Jack and like an inter squad would be so sick, because he was like, we have guys that come in over Christmas break and use the facilities and work out, and he was one of them. So I mean, I'd love to face him in the future. I mean, that'd be awesome.
All right. So next is the in off the bench guest. He throws 105.5 miles per hour. Ben Joyce. Where you going?
Oh, that's funny. We have an inside joke around our team. I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to put him, just because he throws 105, I'll put him at 4. And he's a Tennessee guy.
Now I'm curious. You're going to have to tell me that one off air.
I will.
All right. Next, another in off the bench guest, Paul Skeens.
Probably 5. I mean, he's the best pitcher in the country right now. There's not anyone that can throw the ball like him. I mean, it's really special to watch, honestly.
This is why the blind rankings are fun, because you say that and you've been thinking all new school pitchers, and then I threw Randy Johnson in there.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so I put him. So I guess I got to put Randy at 3.
You only got 3 and 1 available.
I'm gonna have to put Randy at 3. I mean, that's an impossible lefty at bat.
So that means the guy that you want to face the most, and this is going to make you laugh. I hoped it would go this way. The guy that you want to face the most is Sawyer Hawks.
Yes. Oh, you should ask Sawyer what happened.
I ain't gonna lie, your boy. He has impressed me like big time. Like I told him, I said, coming in the way he has, he wasn't really a talked about guy right out of the portal. Wasn't some big name, and now like make a case that he's the best closer in the country outside of Atlantis at Texas, and I still would probably take him. I take Sawyer. So man, shout out to him for just making a huge name for himself.
Yeah, I mean, he's unbelievable. I think he's the best relief pitcher in college baseball right now. I mean, numbers show, but no, he's awesome to be around. Great locker room guy, great leader for us. I mean, he's just been awesome to be around throughout the whole year.
No doubt. Well, before I cut you loose to give you a chance to plug or promote, I saw something Vandy was doing, the brand ambassador, Anchor Impact or whatever. Is that something you need to plug or promote while we got the stage?
That's our NIL brand. Just want to shout them out. Thank you all for everything y'all do, and Anchor down as always.
Absolutely. Well, man, I look forward to seeing you guys play ball this weekend. I don't foresee y'all having any problems, but you can't overlook anybody. I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Stay free from injury, and man, just as always, man, have fun. Like this is a kid's game, and you get the opportunity, even though it's a big stage. Just don't forget that fact, and then go out there and just, man, do everything you can to win. But if you need anything along the way, man, just holler at us.
Yeah, fair. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. That's Riley Nelson, everybody. If you like hearing his story, or you just like hearing average Joes talk X's and O's, please like and share on Facebook, retweet us on Twitter, listen, subscribe, all that good stuff on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube. Next week, Daniel will be back, and we're gonna drift away from baseball. We're gonna talk some female athletics, but in the meantime, remember, strong body, sharp mind, grit and grind all the time. We are out.